Soup.
Aye.
Thanks for that, Soup, man.
Welcome.
Soup's been blessing us from the very beginning. It's almost 3 years next month. So as promised, we do have a special guest in the studio tonight. There he is right there. Wave to the crowd, Brother C. Everybody's seen you worldwide, here, there, and everywhere, man. Thanks for coming through.
You're welcome.
How you doing tonight, brother, man?
I'm cool. Good night to the Virgin Islands.
So we wanted to get you on the show because I know that a brand new building, a brand new community center has opened here on St. Croix, and you've had your hand in a lot of it, getting it up and running, and just seeing it to light. You had the official opening a couple 3 weeks ago. So tell us a little bit about the whole concept behind the community center.
Well, it really started from the time I came back to St. Croix, which I'd like everybody to know that I was incarcerated in New York City. So from the time I came back from St. Croix, I wanted to change my life and do something positive in the Virgin Islands. I really wanted to work with kids because I felt that that's where the kids then really needed the help at and everything like that there. So I started putting together some programs, which I started a program called Horses Incorporation, which older people will probably be aware of. I was assisting the government with picking up the stray horses. I conduct a program from them, and I used to use kids for that. But then I realized that the government don't really support horses on the Virgin Islands and stuff like that. So I went into a different field, which is building a center and dealing with educational programs.
Okay. So when you say building a center, you're not talking about the new one. You're talking about back in, obviously, the old center.
Well, yeah, the old center is where I started off from. When I first came back into Monbijou Center, I raised up in Monbijou Center. I'm one of the first persons in there from 1970. So when I came back and I moved back then to Monbijou in the old center, Ken Bowie was the president and they was about to give it up and everything. And a young fella by the name of Jabad asked me to get involved with it and everything like that. So I got involved with the community center. Really, when I started to conduct the community center, I'm not too sure of the lady name, Miss Saldana or Miss Santina. The lady who used to do the lagoon. I used to see the lady, she's from Monbijou, and she used to go do her time, volunteer all the time to go to the lagoon and fix it up, volunteer service and everything like that, helping the community. So it gives me the idea that if she could do that every morning, volunteer, I could get up and volunteer and start a program working with the kids and stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
So that's when I started moving into Monbijou Center, the old center, which Jabbar came and told me about it. And I started conducting programs in there. In the process of conducting programs in there, I came to my mind that if I start doing programs and really show the government and everything, what the program's about and we're really trying, then the government will pitch in and, help out dealing with the programs and stuff like that.
Okay.
So what kind of programs are you running right now, see?
Well, right now at the center, we deal with music, dancing, modeling, computer classes. Basically, the center is a place that's open to anything as long as it's positive for the children and stuff like that there. We deal with culinary, cooking and stuff like that. We have a lot of different programs and stuff like that, and we open to new programs as people come and give us some ideas and stuff.
Okay.
What hours you open and what days?
Right now we open 6 days a week. The time that we normally open now in the afternoon because we cater to our after-school kids that come there for the after-school programs. But being that we have our new building and everything, we'll be opening up from 9 o'clock in the morning. Right now we have some senior citizen classes going on, which is from 9 to 11, and that's for the seniors. And
presently going right on?
The best thing about it is that all our programs, except for the summer camp, is free.
Correct.
Okay. Okay.
And the theory of that there is that when I was coming up, I realized that a lot of kids wasn't in programs because their parents really couldn't afford it and everything like that there.
Right.
And as we know now how hard the times is and everything like that there, how hard it is for children to get in programs. So we designed the program to try to make the programs for free so we could get out as much kids as we possibly could to take some of them off the streets.
Okay. How many kids do you have coming in there now?
Right now we're dealing with after school, and in the after school program we have 30 kids.
Okay.
In the summertime when we open up full for summer, we take 75.
Okay.
How long you been running this now, see?
I've been running Monbijou Center for at least 9 years now.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So are you looking at any assistance from the government or you run this on your own non-profit?
Well, that's a good question, Sue. The reason why it's a good question is that I could answer it two ways. We're looking for help from the government, And then in the same token, I'm not looking for no help from the government. Let me explain myself. I know a lot of you are confused by that, so let me explain myself. I'm looking for help from the government. The type of help that I'm looking for the government is not necessarily money to help us with programs and get other kids excited. Like for instance, I think the government can help out. Any program that you run right now for nonprofit and you're working with kids, you have to be CPR trained, you have to have a skin test, you have to have a physical, you have to have a police record.
Right.
This comes up to about $500. Right now, the community is hurting. Nobody don't have $500 to do all of that there just to volunteer. So therefore, it help our program. The way that the government could come in and help and stuff like that is if they could offer us some type of assistance that we could have these things done. That way we could get more people to volunteer. We have teachers and stuff like that that's volunteer, but with the income that they're making, and every time we turn around, we got to send taxes or something like that, they're taking the money out of the people's pockets. So now if you're taking out the money out of the people's pocket, they don't have the money to take all of these tests to help nonprofit organizations. So when you do that, you cause the programs to go down. So yes, I need help from the government, but at the same time, no, I don't need help. No, I don't want no help from the government because the government right now, as everybody know, is financially struck. Yeah. You'll hear it all the time. I feel that instead of us looking for money and from things from the government, I think that we need to step in and do other things. Like for instance, Monbijou Center brought a building, a piece of land, and they built a building. It was due to federal grants. I feel that the community could also apply for federal grants and then in exchange help the government that way. So that way I don't really want no help with the government. I'm aware that there's a lot of closed centers in St. Croix. And we need the centers them to be open. And the only way we're going to get the centers open if each one teach one, and not only that, each one help one. Mm-hmm. We can't afford to pay everybody for our services, but they got services that another organization could do that I might not do.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so instead of us dealing with money and stuff like that, we need to go back to some of these things and stuff like that. And then, in return, I feel that what we will be doing is helping the government. Mm-hmm. So this is why I say, yeah, I could answer that two ways as far as help and no help and stuff like that. Because to be honest with you, financially, I wouldn't want that type of help from the government because I'm aware that a lot of programs closes because the government don't really have the money. Yeah. And I hate one day to have a program going and just because of that, the kids don't come one day and we actually shut down.
You shut down, yeah.
I haven't had that problem, so I prefer to do it this way and try to help out the government.
See, one of the things too that you could also look into, because I don't know if this works for you, but if certain people are working in certain organizations, like probably the hospital or maybe in a school, right now I'm talking about if they're working, they already have that background check, they already have that TB test done to work with the present kids that they're working with. So maybe if you could try to look into those organizations and see if anybody could want to volunteer their time, because I don't know how many volunteers you need at this present time. If that would be a route for you. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right about that. And that's why we're trying to take that route. And that's why I was saying in the beginning about each organization helping each other. Because if you're working with kids and you are legally licensed in the Virgin Islands, those requirements that I told you about food handlers cards and all of that there, you're supposed to have them. So like you said, there's other organizations that's working with these type of things. So if we could help out each other and stuff like that, that would take the ease off of us. So you're 100% right with that.
Okay. So you have children at both locations after hours? I mean, not after hours, but after school?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, as I'm sitting here, I have children right now recording in our studio and stuff like that there.
Okay.
So yeah, we have children all the time.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about the sort of the physical layout of what kind of rooms you have in there in the new center.
In the new center, I have a conference room, which we call a Ralph Manjo's room, which is big enough and we rent it out for conferences and stuff like that. We also could do showers and stuff like that there. We also have a room which is a computer lab. And we also have a professional recording studio. Yeah,
I did see that, and it does look real nice. Very professional looking. They kind of hooked that up just right.
Yeah, and the object of that there is that In order to touch the kids them, you have to use things that they're interested in.
Of course.
And if you realize it right now, St. Croix is full of a lot of talent, singing, dancing, and they're trying to really make it and stuff like that.
Right.
And these are the tools then that we need to push a little bit more into cultivating our kids them and stuff like that and sending them in the right direction. And then maybe you will get their attention to do things like how Melvin and the Blue Notes said, wake up all the teachers, time to teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen to what you have to say.
You need to come
And I
out of that
feel
box.
that's what we need to do and everything like that, because you notice the routes that we've been taking and everything like that there, it's not
working.
making it.
We
Yeah.
need to come out of the sandbox that we've been bury ourselves in. That,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With this old tradition and look into new innovative ways. I mean, the old ways work too, but I mean, use new ways to innovate it too, to make it to correspond with one another. You
Right.
understand me?
And we
You know,
talk
so-
about the kids are the future and everything like that. And one of the biggest problems that I find in St. Croix is that we say the kids are the future and the kids is the back and we back in the kids them. But besides money, we find it very hard to put the responsibilities in the young generations. And I feel that that's when we need to stop, because what are we going to do? Wait for them to get old to start giving them this type of responsibility?
Right.
We're supposed to be teaching them responsibilities from young.
No.
And if you do that, this is when you also will have great presidents and vice presidents and stuff like that. My vice president been with me for over 6 years. He's 21. So that goes to show you at what age that I'm trying to work with them and put them in those positions, because I feel that we need every child wants to be important and feel like they want to be important.
Yeah, they want to
And
feel like they belong.
Right,
Yeah.
and we don't do enough in putting them in those positions to make them feel like they belong. So that's why they strayed away to other organizations where they feel they belongs at.
Okay. So let me ask you, the names Malik and Liko,
Yeah.
Liko, Felix. Tell us a little bit about who that person is.
Well, Malik Antonio Lico Felix is who I named the building after. That was my right-hand partner.
Okay.
When I first moved them to Monbijou, Miss Felix and Mr. Felix was the house that everybody used to go to. And this is one of the brothers that actually came to me and asked me to build a center and work with him. And we was building the center and everything, and then he had a little thing where he got shot and wound up dying and everything like that there. And from
Sorry to
that
hear
day, from knowing what was done in the community and from the way his family was in the community, I felt that the community needed something named after him, because he was a family man, and if anybody know him, he was always about kids.
Okay.
So that's why the building wound up naming after Malik. And not only that, as I mentioned in this conversation that I was incarcerated, I was also in boys' home too. In the process of naming him that building, I also wanted to show the community of the Virgin Islands how you could take a person and change. And not only senators or governors or educationals could get things built after them and named after them. We could do this by following the same paths and stuff like that there. We could put things that make our community proud and stuff like that. And if I could change my life, anybody could change their life. And that's part of me doing it and stuff like that there, to show the younger generation that we could succeed in a positive way. So that was part of me naming the building after them. To tell you the truth, I went through a lot to get it done, but it was done. And that was something that I decided that I was going to do. And when I put my mind to do something, I make sure it get done.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So did naming the building with his name, did it have to get approved by the government, or is that just something that you could just do?
That was something that the federal department, Community Development of Black Grant, gave me the permission to do.
Okay.
When I found out that a grant was approved and that we could build a building, I asked them, can we name the building? And they said, yes, we can name it anything they want. Keep in mind now, when he first died, I turned to a couple of senators to try to name the building that we have now, the old building after him. And I wasn't getting the proper help. But once again, like I told you, when I put my mind to do something, I get it done.
Yes, sir.
So that's why we wind up still building a building from scratch and still naming it after a beautiful, peaceful brother.
Yes, sir.
So what is the old center called?
That's called Monbijou Community Center.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Monbijou Community Center.
And then the new one Has his name.
Yeah, the Malik Antonio Felix Lico Center.
Okay, okay, community center. Okay, good, man. So getting back to some of the things that you offer as far as class. So I have a flyer here. Computer classes for seniors. You say that basically from March 20th to May 19th, Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah, that's the second one. We had one last year too.
Okay, so seniors come in, and are you an instructor, or you have somebody coming in that deals with that?
No, we have a young lady by the name of Tiffany that used to work for Speedy Secretary.
Okay.
That actually come in and do it. Now I want you to also keep in mind too that all of my programs that's being run, all of Monbijou programs that's being run is being ran through volunteer and through things that we just seen in the community needs. Like for instance, I realized that there's nothing really happening in the community for the senior citizens. At one time, and I'm not too sure if it's open, there wasn't no senior citizen places open at all. So we decided that we need to do something for the seniorism and stuff like that there, and we started doing. So most of the program is just things that we see that the community need, and we try to assist with that. So that's how the senior citizen computer class starts.
Is it full? Is it up to capacity? Is it?
No, right now we're still taking more registration and stuff like that there.
Cool.
Yeah, that's good, man. You know, helping the seniors with computers.
And not only that, the government picks up seniors and they welcome to bring them there in between those time and use the center and everything like that. It's for free. We're not charging or nothing like that there.
Okay.
So are you utilizing it now?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Well, is the government using it right now?
Yeah, to bring the seniors in.
No, they're not.
Okay.
No, they're not.
But you put the offer out to them.
Yeah, because honestly, this is the things that we need to do, you know, right? Right now, the government is going through a financial situation. So if we go into a financial situation and we can't afford to have an instructor or make a senior citizen class, but we have somebody in the community that's doing it, why not utilize it?
Yes, sir.
Why not take the seniors there instead of saying that there's nothing for the seniors to do?
Okay.
And especially if it's for free.
Exactly.
And this is not limited to senior citizens from Monbijou, but just anywhere on the island. If you can get to the center, you can partake.
Okay, let me answer that there for you. Monbijou Center is in Monbijou. But Monbijou is not my community. My community is St. Croix.
Yes, sir.
So therefore, anything that we do in Monbijou is open from east to west to anybody want to go. And in the summertime, we also get kids from the States and everything like that there.
Right.
And eventually, we hope to spread out to the rest of the islands too and stuff like that there.
Cool.
So it's in Monbijou because that's where we stationed and that's where we was able to get it. And you know, if you think about it, it's a beautiful location because it's in the middle of the island.
Yeah.
It's easy from anybody to get there from east to west.
Yeah, for sure. So one of the other things that you mentioned earlier too is that you said that I guess right now you have some youths over there in the studio.
Right.
And I had a chance to check that studio. I thought it was very professionally done. So the studio is for anybody that basically is an aspiring singer, maybe musician. So they can go in there and record tracks. Or so what's your concept for the studio there?
I would say yeah, but my whole thing is that a jewel for a jewel and nobody don't get robbed. You're welcome to come in the studio. You're welcome to work with us. But you just can't come to the studio to record. That's your jewel that we're giving it to you. Mm-hmm. We want a jewel back from you. And in other words, we want you to do something towards our program and helping the kids and stuff like that. So it's a jewel for a jewel.
Yes, sir.
I'm not knocking nobody's studio or nothing like that there. But a lot of people can't afford to pay $100 or whatever it costs to be in the studio. So once again, it's a non-profit. It was built for the community and stuff like that there. We're going to work with the communities. I have certain people that we're going to charge and stuff like that because, of course, we have maintenance and stuff like that there. But like I tell anybody, the center is open up to basically to anybody to come there and talk to us about programs and stuff like that, any type of program that you want to give and stuff like that there. And once you could give back to the center and everything like that there, it's open.
Okay. And as we continue to talk about music, so you also have a band.
Yeah, called the Young Gifted and Talented Band.
Okay. So the unique thing about this band is what?
The unique thing about this band is that it's a young band coming up. The oldest player might be 18. There's no rhythm box. There's no computer. So everything that you're hearing is actually them playing their instruments and stuff like that.
Okay.
And if you name it, they could play it.
Okay.
In other words, we playing salsa, soca, reggae, dancehall, R&B, blues. We cool off the calypso a little bit. We could play the calypso, but we cool off it a little bit because we feel that it has so much people here that represent the culture and the calypso, that it also have other kids here and other people that like other different type of music. So we more like try to focus on that there.
Okay.
But we could play calypso.
You play reggae too?
Anything. We
Okay,
can play
cool.
reggae. As a matter of fact, if you come down to Sons of Jazz, April 22nd, 21st, we'll be playing.
How many members in the band? See?
And the band right now is 8. We have one fella that's away, which you'll probably know him, called Ben. We call him Big Ben. He's away at Barclays University right now.
Okay.
And he plays sax. As a matter of fact, when Clinton came here, he signed his sax for him.
Okay.
And Ben is the one that really pushed the music. Every year he come home from college, he worked with us in the summer.
Right.
And he actually started teaching the kids them and everything like that there. And it was his dream to build a band, so we started putting the band together and everything like that. As a matter of fact, Ben also be online still now teaching some of the kids them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's away in college now?
Yeah, he's away at Barclays University,
Okay. Okay.
which you might be familiar with Ben. They call his mother Heavenly Peterson.
Oh, yes.
Okay, well, it's her son.
Okay. Yeah, she just had that
Yeah, I'm
little...
trying to give everybody the credit and everything, let you know that that's her son.
Yes. She had the little girl that went away just recently. I don't know if you know that or not.
No, I'm not.
She had a little girl that went to the Apollo, and I think she won that. Okay, so you can come there and use the studio, but you can use the studio, but in a sense you have to sort of help out in other ways as a payment.
Yeah, you have to do something.
Give back. Just give back.
We're not rich. We need finance just like everybody else, but we know that everybody else need finance too. So, for instance, let's say you know how to play baseball. Why not come there and teach some of the kids them how to play baseball
Yeah.
in return for you using the studio? All the programs, Pro Tools from 8 go all the way up to 12, all the latest programs and everything we have. And all we asking y'all is to do is work with the kids them.
Okay. Okay. And then the other thing too that you mentioned too that this band is going to be performing April 21st.
Yes.
Usually Sunset Jazz is on a Friday in West.
Right, so that's supposed to be on a Friday. I hope I don't get in trouble for letting y'all know so soon.
Yeah, I didn't hear about it, but yeah, that's a good thing. So April 21st, KPI, what's the name of the band again?
No, it's the Young, Gifted, and Talented Band.
Okay. They'll be performing at Sunset Jazz. Now let's get back to the building itself. So you can the public can rent rooms to have different types of functions, whether it be private or public.
Well, to be honest with you, right now there's only one room
Okay.
that they can really rent.
Okay.
And that's the conference room, which is the Ralph Manjo's room.
Okay.
Yeah, you can rent it for different events and everything like that there.
Okay. Now you just mentioned another name there. How does this name fit into the grand equation?
Ralph Manjo?
Yes.
Okay, we forgot about Ralph Manjo. There's a conference room inside of the building which is named Ralph Manjo's. And Ralph Manjo was also the president of Monbijou Homeowners Association.
Okay.
And he did some positive things in there, like name the roads in them and stuff like that. So we felt that it's only right that we name a room after him too.
Okay. Is he still around, or he's passed away
No,
now?
he passed away.
Okay. So these are older gentlemen then?
Yeah.
Okay.
But not Malik Felix though. He's not an older gentleman.
Okay. All right, so our guest tonight is C. He represents the Monbijou Community Center. It's opened up brand new. So what do you think about the tournament, the turnout at the opening there, the grand opening you had on Sunday a couple weeks back? You think it was well attended, or?
Yeah, I think it was a well attended. It was a nice turnout and everything like that there. I'm just hoping some of the people them who promised to help out and give stuff do what they're supposed to do, what they promised and stuff like that there. Because one thing about me, I'm a man of my word. So I hope they are a person of their word too. If they say they're going to do this, they do it.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. What else? What else we got, Soup?
So you have anybody else, any other organization presently working with you guys, or you're just running it off your own? Right now?
No, right now we're trying to get together with a couple of organizations. Let me see if I could get the initial right. KGP is one of the organizations. I have another one, Super Dads, that we're trying to work with them
Yes.
to put things together. Right now we also have try to work with Dr. Peterson in reference to getting Island Center back the way it should be and everything like that. That's what we are presently trying to help that way.
Okay, cool.
Okay. All right, so C is our guest tonight. He represents Monbijou Community Center. It's open mainly, I guess, from 2:30, 3 o'clock-ish into the early evening, maybe 6. Is that a fair time? Or does it go later than that?
Right now it goes to 6, but in the next week or two, it'll be open from 9 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, because summer's getting ready to come up here real
Yeah,
quick.
not only that, there is that technically I don't feel that no community center that's open up to kids should be closed until before 10 o'clock.
Yes.
Okay.
That is the curfew for the kids. So if you close your center before then, there's not really no place
For them to be.
go.
Yeah.
Right,
Now I have been closed because we're working on our new programs and the new staff, the new
Right.
volunteers that are coming in and stuff like that there. But we are pushing to have our center open up till 10 o'clock. We're even pushing to have it open 7 days a week.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, because, you know, as you look at the island and stuff like that there, we realize that they have some parents that really don't have the time to take their children to the beach, take their children to the movies and stuff like that there. And these are the things that we want to step in and try to help. You see, our program is not just to help the kids them, it's also to help the parents them.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, our program, it finished at 5 o'clock, but the parents them have until 5:30 to pick them up. We try to give them time to work. In the morning time, our program starts at 8. But you could leave until 8:30. So we try to work with the programs and also fit the needs of the parents and stuff like that. Because I have a lot of parents out there that have needs and stuff. And if you say that you're really trying to touch the kids them, and you're not concerned or not trying to reach to the parents them, then you're gonna have a problem.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay. Okay, so Mr.Cee is our guest tonight. He represents, once again, the Monbijou Community Center. And so they have computer classes for seniors. They have the program, I guess, March 20th through May 19th. It's Tuesday and Thursday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Call 340-227-2724 to get information there. Yeah, inside the community center, there's a room that you can rent for, I guess, if you have a function or any kind of function. I guess you could rent the room out. The other thing too, I thought was kind of cool too. You have the building is kind of in two, and so you have bathrooms on both sides.
Yeah, what happened is the way that we split down the building, like for instance, if somebody wanted to rent out the conference room, they have a bathroom right in the conference room and everything on that side.
Yeah.
Then if you pass the receptions and you go towards the computer room and the studio, there's bathroom too for those people on that side and everything like that. It's not really separating the room or splitting it in two, but it's to monitor the kids them and everything like that, because if you come there looking for your child, I want to be able to tell you exactly where your child is.
Right,
Okay.
Right.
If your child is supposed to be in the conference room, I don't want to tell you your child is in the conference room and your child is someplace else.
Someplace else. Yeah.
To me, that shows that we're not really watching the kids them and stuff like that. So we
Okay.
divided it so everybody could stay in their own session and stuff like that.
Okay.
Is there a monitor on the internet of what can be seen from what cannot be seen?
So you could ask that question again. I ain't quite understand.
For the children that are using the internet, is there a way to monitor them to see what sites they're going on, or certain sites available to them or not available?
Yeah. We have a monitor device on them. We have the parental guidance with everything that go to us. Also, we have somebody in there always with them. We never let the kids them go in there by themselves. Also, the way the computers are set up, the instructors in the back, so we can see all the computers in front of us.
In front of them, see what
Yeah,
they're
so
on.
we can
Yeah.
see what's on it. Not only that, they could tell you. Sometimes I pop up on them because I have a camera in there that I watch from on my phone from anywhere that I go.
Yeah.
So even if something go wrong, I'll call the instructor and tell her, look, why that child is, and so and so. So we constantly try to monitor them and stuff. like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Nice,
Okay.
nice.
And so, do you have any other than Sunset Jazz Con? Do you have any other events coming up that you want the public to be aware of?
Well, you know, every year for the last 8 years, we do a show called the Young Gifted and Talent Show, which is at Woodson, which is a big show and stuff like that there.
That's coming up, right?
That would be in August. Every August, the first week in August, we do that. And the way that we do that is that all the children that's in our summer camp have to participate.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Whether they sing, whether they dance, whether they operate the camera, whether they operate the curtains, we try to get them involved in doing the shows and stuff like that there.
Okay.
And let me bring this to your attention. Also, within our summer camp, we also do work with labor. I think Super Active is any other groups that we work with.
Yes.
We also work with labor. We've been working with labor for about the last 3 to 4 years that we have a program that we run a summer camp for labor. 4 weeks, 4 hours a day where they actually send kids to us and we teach them how to do their resume. We teach them graphic designs and stuff like that. And it's been a good program going along for the last couple of years too. So, we do work with different groups.
Yes. All right.
Okay.
To be honest with you, Christian and Soup, there's so much that we do at the center that while you're talking to me,
It's coming up. Yeah, man.
it's coming up and everything like that because there's a lot that we do at the center. Sometimes I say it's nothing that we don't do. Sometimes people call us the rescue because they always call on us for anything because like when we do our shows, we do our show. From the tickets to the books to the music, it's a one-stop. The lights and everything, it's all done within our people within the center.
Okay.
And being that people also find that out now, we also step up to the plate. For instance, we have had Woodson's when they didn't have no lights on their stage. We was the one that was supplying the lights for them.
Okay.
We also help St.Croix High when they have any of their movies nights and stuff like that there. We help them, we help anybody that's looking out for help and everything like that there.
Right.
We try to reach out and work with them because we realize that this is what the island needs.
Okay. Okay. Perfect, man. All right, so our guest tonight is Mr.Cee, man. He represents Monbijou Community Center. Anything else that you want to share? We might have forgotten to ask you. Anything, C?
It's not too much, but if there's anything that anybody want to ask me, I feel free to call in. They could ask me. I work better like that day with interviews and stuff like that day.
Okay.
So,
Well, if you got a question or a comment, just call 340-201-9005. The phone lines are right here. Give us a call here. We're going to be up and running another couple of minutes.
But then give them your digit, give them your email.
Yeah, give them your
my email is at monbijou@live.com. One of my telephone numbers is 513-9963. There's a lot of other things that we have in process and everything like that there. But I'm the type of person that I'm not going to bring them up until I know for sure that we're going to do them.
Well, that's the best or only way to do it.
You know, so I don't want to sell nobody no dream or they be looking for it and anything like that there. And so far, when I got involved with the Monbijou Center, I was living up Solitude. But I have family that live in Monbijou, and they could tell you that before I came to Monbijou, not the building, but I promised them that I was going to come in and build programs in Monbijou Center. And that's exactly what I did. From the time I got back to from incarcerated, that's what I wanted to do. Now we just hit another topic. You gave me something to talk about now. And the reason I say that is because when I first came back from incarcerated, I wanted to work with the kids and try to open up programs. And everywhere I turned, you got that roadblock from the government and stuff like that. You couldn't work in the juvenile hall because you've been incarcerated and stuff like that there. And I feel that this is wrong. I feel that in order for us to really touch the community and work with the community, we also have to work with the brothers that's incarcerated. You have to realize how big St. Croix is. You have to realize that the brothers in jail have a lot of rap pull and things that's going on out here. This is their family out here. And if you don't educate them, we're going to have a problem. You're having them coming back out with revenge and hateful. You're not setting up no programs for them to come out or anything like that. I was incarcerated, but I was incarcerated in New York. I had programs. I could have educated myself. When they opened up my gates to come out to lift weights, I went to school. We're not having these type of things here. We need to give these brothers a chance because, as I keep saying, I'm a person that's been incarcerated. And if I could come out and change my life and do this here, I'm quite sure there's a lot of them that's in jail that will want that opportunity and to do the same thing. And no matter what you do, if you look at it, they have a big influence over what's happening in the island. So that's another spot where we need to also touch bases and everything like that. I'm a product of it. I'm a product of it. And I'm showing you what good could do. Not only that, I'm also a Muslim. So I'm at the same time, for y'all who think that Muslims is negative and stuff like that there, I'm also showing you what a Muslim can do in America. So this is why I do some of the things that I'm doing. I love to do it, but I also do it for a reason and stuff like that. I do it like everybody who talk to me, tell me I have passion in what I'm doing it. I have a lot of passion because it comes from my heart. It's not about money. And what I find in St. Croix is that money is not the issue. It's us helping each other, working with each other, and stop trying to get money for every little thing that we do. Until we do that, we're going to fail. Just like, for instance, I don't believe that we have gangs in St. Croix. I believe that we have neighborhoods that takes up and represent each other. If you really look at what a gang is, and you deal with the gangs in the States, they come from all over the world. Think about it. If you truly had gangs here, y'all might look at this in a negative way, but I want you to think about it. I always tell people, all I do is plant the seed. I put the thought in your head and you to water it. If we really had gangs here, some of the violence would be controlled. Think about it. In the States, when they have big violence like that, you get a community and they go to the 2 gang leaders and they bring them together. And once the gang leaders come together and they cease the peace, that's when you have it. We don't really have no real gangs here and everything like that there. So we need to stop pushing that and really start trying to work with the community and stuff like that there and bring it the way it was. Like, for instance, too many of our programs that we have here and everything like that there, we don't interact. And that's why I like Monbijou being in the middle of the center. We have programs in East, we have programs in West, but sometimes the kids in West don't even know the kids in East are brothers and sisters. So until we start taking care of some of these problems, we're not going to solve what's happening here in St. Croix. A lot of people might look at me on your show and say, yeah, he don't know what he's talking about and this and that. But I want you to do one thing. Look at my past, look where I'm at now, and look at what I'm doing in the future. And it could be done. And everything that I'm telling you, the process that I take and everything like that there, is the same process that I'm telling you that we need to change in the Virgin Islands. Mm-hmm. And the truth is undisputed. Yeah.
Who are some of your role models? Who has sort of shaped you over the years to be who you are now?
Farrakhan, Malcolm X, Malik Felix. Even though he was younger than me, he was a very wise person and showed me a lot of things. And those were some of my, some of my role models and stuff like that there. Yes, and my biggest role model is the community. Watching everything that happened in the community and everything like that and learn from that there. Mm. And now that you speak about role models, this is what I feel St. Croix lacked. I remember one time when it had shows about Nikki Cruz coming out of church and doing positive things. What happened to these things? Right. Why are we not hearing these things no more and stuff like that? So to me, we need to stop waiting for money and stuff like that and step forward and do. And the next thing is that a lot of organizations need to stop being scared like they're hiding something and open up to the help that people is trying to give them. A lot of organizations won't even pile up and help out each other and stuff like that there. Mm-hmm. And that's why we have problems too. And then if we interact, if you have a program doing, say you got a program doing with video recording and music, and I have some girls that models and stuff, and I take yours and we interact, that's how the kids then get to know each other and stuff like that there. And what's going on in St. Croix right now, it's not going to change just like that. It's not going to change the day or tomorrow. It's going to take about 5 to 10, maybe 15 years to re-educate, to re-put the thoughts in the kids. Remember, when we used to go to school, if somebody hit you, hit them back. So throughout the years, that's what inject in our kids' head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now we're trying to change them. If somebody hit you, you can hear it now. If somebody hit you, go to the principal. But my mother told me to hit them back. It's going to take a time to change the generation and re-educate. And if we take our time and do that and set up more programs for the children to go to and also programs for the brothers them that's came out and incarcerated, I think it would work. The next thing is that I found that is a problem is that I'm not trying to slander nobody, but I had to talk my mind. I feel that every year we go through the system and the school needs help, the schools is down, they need to repaint and everything. Look at it this way. There's so much community services happening in the Virgin Islands that we're still not getting it done. Every high school and have kids that they have to do 100 hours of community service. Most of them kids have to go somewhere to find out where to do their community service. Why don't we set up a program where they go to this one program and we assign them back to their schools and different things like that there to get the manpower that we need. We also have gentlemen that's incarcerated. We also have people that go to the judge and the judge gives them community service. We need to set up an agency that everybody could go to, and then we could channel this community help into the government facilities, the hospital, island center, wherever it's needed, cleaning up the roads and stuff like that. The help is there. But if you look at it, I find that we're not utilizing it in the right way. A lot of people don't even do community service. They get write-offs. So,
Piece of paper said they did community service, but
Right.
in fact they didn't do anything.
right, you know, and if you think about it, that little program that I just told you right there, it would be so helpful and beneficial to the Virgin Islands. Because one of the biggest things is what? Labor costs more than anything. Okay, and we have people here that, you got kids that will come around and asking you to do the community service. They could do it right in their school and help fix up the schools, and so when the kids them go to the school, they won't be so nasty and be so dirty and stuff like that there. It brings down your moral.
Yeah.
You know, and that's another thing. We talk about the kids them and everything, and we're pushing them in school and stuff like that there. But how about the way the kids them feel when they're in school, the way they're being treated and stuff like not too long ago with the school lunch and stuff like that there. You might not realize it, but all of these things play a factor. Like, for instance, I work with after school. You have a child that come there. You know you can't function right if you don't eat. So by the time them kids skip the lunch and everything, by the time they get to their program, they're frustrated. They need something to eat. How you expect them to concentrate
To
right?
function and focus.
Right.
Yeah. Do you provide any kind of food or anything in after school, or any kind of snacks? Or
Well, by law, because of human service, you have to, the first thing you do when you come to the center is eat a snack.
Okay.
That's the first thing that you do when you come to the center, is eat your snack. And then after that day, we help you with your homework and everything like that there. Besides that, like them getting a snack, we also have a kitchen where we'll sell chicken and french fries, shrimp and french fries, just about you name it, we also have it there and stuff like that there. If push comes to shove, somebody come there, we'll give them a plate of food and stuff like that. It don't hurt us to give.
Yes.
You know, so we do that and everything like that. We try to monitor and watch what other people are doing and set up our programs different and stuff like that there. Because constantly you hear about the complaints and stuff like that. So what we try to do is listen to the complaint instead of saying that, oh, that person should have did this, that person should have did that. No, that's a problem that a lot of us have in the Virgin Islands too. We'll talk about other programs and they should do this and do that, but we're not stepping up and helping or doing neither.
Yep.
You know, and that's what some of us need to do and stuff like that. I don't know everything, okay? I have a GED. I don't have a college education and stuff like that there.
You just have
So
to-
if I'm doing something wrong, why not come and help me and show me how to do it instead of talking about the program in a negative way? You know, so, and that's what a lot of us do. We look at a lot of people programs and talk about it and stuff like that and start stepping up and helping and stuff like that. And we need to do it because if you look at it, who's being affected? The future.
the future.
We
yeah.
talk about the future and everything, but what are we really doing to help the future?
Yeah. So see, it sounds like you're just really running the operation by yourself. I mean,
No.
No, I know
I'm
you-
not
I know
running
you
the operation
have-
by myself.
I know you have
I
people that-
couldn't run the operation.
But
To
I
be
mean-
honest with you, I couldn't do what I'm doing if it wasn't for Jessica Pimpleton, which is my secretary. Jahil Smith is my vice president, and Natalie Moorhead. That's the lifesaver. Natalie is the one that writes the grants for us and everything and goes down there and find out about the grants and everything. And everything that we're doing is when we came together, we learned it. Natalie didn't know about writing grants or anything like that until she met up with us and we started doing it. So without those four people, and I
Okay.
also have to mention Digital Band, Lloyd Jacob, Vic, these are the people that handle the music anytime we're doing something anywhere, our shows and everything like that there. So it's a big group of us, which is about, I'll say about 10, but no, I'm not I'm not handling everything.
Okay. All right.
I couldn't do it.
Okay. Well, I see now, because you mentioned those names, but prior to that, I was like, man, C is just doing everything to kind of get this thing rolling, but you got some key people involved in
Yeah.
helping you.
I'm doing everything to get the thing rolling, but I can't get it rolling without other people's. Like, for instance, one of the things that I mentioned to you is that I have a lot of other things in mind that we want to do and stuff like that there. Until I find the key people to work with those things, I can't do it.
You can't do it, yeah.
So everything that you see that we're doing and everything like that there, no, I'm just the person that's out front and everything, And this is the first interview that I do and everything like that. So this is probably why that you're getting so much talk out of me and stuff like that there. But normally I'm in the back and everybody else do the interviews and stuff like that there.
Okay.
So this might be like the first time that I get to express myself a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you coming on our show to do that. Definitely. Thank you, man. All right. So our guest tonight is Mr.Cee, man. He's representing Monbijou Community Center. Go check it out. It's open basically. I guess after hours, maybe from 2:30 until 6. As we get closer to the summer, it's going to be open up from like 9 to 10
p.m.
Bring your kids by. Cee's got many programs for the young and for the old. And if you just want to volunteer your time and help out in some capacity, Cee's the man to see. He'll definitely get you going on that. They also have a conference room that can be used. It's for rent. It can be used for any number of things, whether it's government or private, maybe a small party or a family gathering or something like that. And yeah, that's about it, man. So, Cee, we want to thank you, man, for coming through. So, you got another thought?
Yeah, the only thing I want to mention to the people then is that if we don't have the program and you could see it as being a positive program that's going to help the children in the community, bring it to our attention and we will get it rolling and everything like that. And one other thing, we also have a basketball court in the process because we're going to be running some basketball leagues. We give credit to everybody that's doing the tournaments and everything like that. They're doing a beautiful job and everything like that there. But we'd like to see some basketball leagues. Right. So we're going to start doing basketball leagues.
Okay. All right, man. Full court game. Let's go. All right, Mr.Cee, thank you very much for coming through, man, and being a guest on our show tonight, man. Soup, any final words?
Mr.Cee, I want to thank you. I want to wish you the best in whatever your endeavors be. Stand firm, be strong. I know it's not an easy road, but at the end of the day, you can't give up. You know what I'm saying? So, one perfect love. Rastafari lives.
Yeah, we say one perfect love is our prayers and his blessings. When you put it all together, you get one perfect love, man. So we're out for tonight. It's about 8:57 p.m. And real quick, Soup, I just want to say that this is the It's Your Perspective talk show. Our website is streaming live from the VI.com. After we sign off here, click onto our radio station. We got nothing but the very best in local music. Check out the VI Vibes mix show every day from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. We got nothing but, for 2 hours, nothing but local Virgin Island artists. Our guest tonight is Cee. He represents the Monbijou Community Center. We're out. We got another guest tomorrow night. Oh, Cee's got another.
One thing, okay. I want to thank the two of y'all for giving me the time. I want to thank the Virgin Island audience for listening to me. And my last thing that I always got is, if you're looking for something to do, check Monbijou.
All right, man, we'll leave it at that. All right, man, so we're out. We'll see you guys next week. Not next week. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Over them liars and over over them tyrant and Arabia, over them government and institution. Give me the incense, be like smoke out corruption. Make sure you're ready for go take your station. Jack children standing full attention. Lion them ready for go hit up Babylon. Calling Jah army, make we mash them down. Jackie iron night, high power. 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 Wanna go set the pace when I who a Jah. Wanna go set the pace when I who a Jah. Wanna go set the pace when I who a Jah. Wanna go set the pace. Mystical powers, ancient to stamp out Babylon. Now to level out them worldly vision. Why wanna cheat